We're back here on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. You may have been with us a couple months ago. I like to think that people watch every week, but I understand that you don't. Damon Young was here. We talked a lot about his brand, and I'm going to say that Very Smart Brothers is your brand. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, that can work.
Okay, all right. But what we didn't have a chance to talk about when you were here is some of the things that make news that prompt you to write about them. So I went through a lot of your columns lately, and I just picked out a couple of subjects. Okay. So the first one that struck me was using the N-word on Facebook.
Yes. Okay, so let me think. All right, so as a reaction to the acquittal of the officer who was who shot and killed Philando Castile, I wrote a piece on Very Smart Brothers about how it's now open season for N-words. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, probably.
The full word
Let's go with
here.
N-word, yeah.
So it's open season for N-words, but I actually said it, spelled out the word, and shared it on Facebook, and it did pretty well. Got a few thousand shares and was retweeted quite a few times, and it was just basically a piece that articulated some of the frustrations that I was feeling and that I know other people felt about these type of verdicts, where it's almost like some sort of surreal and evil form of Groundhog's Day, where you're just, okay, this is going to happen again, and then the next time this happens, it's going to be the same result, and it just keeps happening over and over again. And so I posted on Facebook, and then a couple of days later, I received a notice from Facebook saying that the post had been removed because it had been flagged for hate language, for hate speech, and I had gone into Facebook prison, where it's almost like in-school suspension, where you're allowed to read Facebook posts and you're allowed to read other people's posts, but you can't actually interact. You can't comment. You can't change anything on your page. You're just an active observer of your own Facebook page, and that was my status for 24 hours.
And so then how was that resolved? Or you were just kind of in this Facebook prison?
I was in that Facebook prison for 24 hours, and this happened over the weekend, so I wasn't going to be on Facebook that much, at least work-wise, during the weekend.
Okay.
But so there's a guy I know at Facebook who I've spoken to before about situations like this, and he reached out to me after I wrote a post about it.
Okay.
And the post that I wrote basically articulated that, okay, Facebook is putting me in jail for articulating and speaking about racism, but I have actual racist hate mail in my Facebook inbox.
I was going to say, that's where it gets kind of crazy.
Yeah, and so just I guess the juxtaposition of, you have this one thing existing, and again, I'm acknowledging racism, I'm not actually being racist, but then you have actual hate speech, racism that's allowed to go, I guess unscrutinized or unmonitored. And so I wrote that on Very Smart Brothers. I published it to Facebook too, and then a person who works for Facebook reached out to me and, basically saying, how can we fix this? Is there a way that we can, make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen again? And so we actually spoke a couple of days ago, and hopefully we'll be able to prevent things like this from happening again.
So that kind of leads me to the next thing I want to talk to you about, because you write a lot about race.
I do.
You write a lot about issues that deal with race. And I know from my own experience and through our social media that people will be very quick to write racist things or to call you a racist. And so you've got to keep that perspective, because it's hard, for me anyway, to not look at some of those comments and want to go off on people.
My wife is very concerned about some of the comments that I received. My dad, too, who, and for understandable reasons, these people are sometimes making threats about his son or about her husband. And to be quite honest, it doesn't bother me that much. When I speak about it, it's more to just articulate the absurdity of it and to make fun of it. But it may be because I haven't received like a threat that I'll take literally.
Okay.
But this stuff just doesn't. It's like, all right, whatever. You know, you took time out of your day from your, and it's never from like a Gmail account. It's from email account that doesn't even exist anymore. It's like askjeeves.com
Okay,
or
all right.
Outlook. Or there's just, and I take those opportunities to just put the spotlight on those people.
On those
like
people.
for instance, when I got some of those, when I wrote the piece about the racist emails in my Facebook inbox, I posted them on Very Smart Brothers with the names, and Facebook actually, they'll have your name and maybe some
Right.
biographical info about you. So all that stuff was out there. It's like, okay, if you want to say this stuff about me, then you might get put on the Summer Jam screen and have everyone see, who you are and what you do for a living and all
what
that.
you're doing behind closed doors.
Yeah, and what you're
too.
doing behind, what you
Sure.
think
You
you're doing
yeah,
behind
exactly,
closed doors. Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess the other thing that strikes me about a lot of what you write is I feel like you capture this kind of black rage that's fueling out here that a lot of people don't even know how to describe it. But the frustrations, the anger, that feeling like you mentioned the movie Groundhog Day over and over again, when we see these young black males being shot and killed and nothing happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I recognize that I have a privilege to articulate, and the thing is, I am not necessarily trying or attempting to be a voice, a collective voice for
Okay.
black people. I'm trying to speak my own truth and just articulate the things I see in the way I see. So it happens that the feelings that I express happen to, be aligned with a lot of feelings that a lot of black people, and not just black people, but just a lot of people are feeling about police brutality and about racism and about race and about the N-word and about just anything else that has the potential to be an explosive issue in regards to race and culture. And so, I take that responsibility seriously. I have this platform, and of course I don't always talk about those more serious topics, and sometimes I'll talk about those more serious topics with a more satiric
Right.
and irreverent bent, but I just want to make sure that whatever I put out there is quality and it makes sense.
Okay.
And even if people don't agree, they'll at least be able to say, okay, I can understand.
I get what
I
he's
get it.
saying. Yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
Maybe I don't agree, but I get the thought process. I get how he came to that point. I get why he's making that reference, and I understand.
Okay, hold that thought. We got to take a commercial break. We have a lot more to talk about with Damon Young, so don't go away when the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show continues.